Welcome to the Brown Spade Podcast Show. First of all, I just want to thank all the people who have supported us so far. Thank you very much. And I just want to let you know the platforms that we're on. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Breaker. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Overcast. We're on Pocket Cast. We're on Radio Public. We're on Spotify. We're on Copy RSS. And we're now live on YouTube. And we have a subject today, kind of touchy. How did we get here? How did we get here? The battle of the sexes. So, before we begin, let me bring in these young ladies. How you doing, Miss Key? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for coming. We're very glad to have you here.
It's nice to be here.
And our next guest, she's been on before we was on YouTube, and she supported us from the beginning. So thank you again, Miss Mo. We have Miss Mo here.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, bud.
Hey, kids.
Hey, girl.
Good to see you,
Now I'm waiting on my co-host. I guess he's I don't know. He was there, now he's not there. I don't know.
girl.
As soon as he comes, we're gonna begin. How you ladies are doing?
Great. Doing great.
I am outstanding.
Good. Yeah. Y'all got y'all favorite beverage with y'all?
I do.
Yeah,
He said one of them.
one of them. Look.
Okay.
Right. Look, my other look, mine's a little bit of both. It's a wine type of day, though. It's been a long day already.
There's nothing
Oh,
wrong with that.
Yes.
Clay, why you not at home, dude? I think he said he's gonna be there around 6. Anyway, he's here.
Six.
we can. You want to wait on him to dial back in? Oh, there
Yo,
he is.
Clay, what's up?
What's going on?
Where's the guy?
Not even home.
Where's the guy, dude?
Hello?
We hear you, Cleveland.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can, but
Yes.
why you not stationary?
He's stuck in traffic.
Yeah, traffic, ATL traffic.
So where's the dude?
Have y'all started?
Yes.
Where's the guy? We're about to start. Where's the guy? He hasn't came on.
Um, Hold on. Let me text him.
It sounds like they're trying to outnumber us, Key, because they can't handle it.
No, it
Right.
wasn't that. Because I was trying to get more ladies on. It's the ladies just
We can hold that. I don't know. What's up with that? We don't need nobody else.
okay. All right. Sharks in the middle.
I was trying to stand back and let it be 2-on-2. I was trying to play,
Right. It should be two on two.
I think he knew he needed a little more reinforcement. I think he knew
That's what
that
it is?
already. Yeah, since
No,
he
it was more like it was more like we have people commenting and stuff, and if we all of us, me and Daniel, both deep in conversation, we not paying attention to the comments that people make.
How far are you out to the house, dude?
Um, it's saying I will be there.
Yeah. Let me
He's looking at his GPS problem.
yeah, he gonna text me or something, man. All right.
We can dial back.
y'all see the guys gonna have to get it together now.
I might have to go ahead and handle both of y'all by myself.
Hey,
I mean, it's up to you. You might need him.
yes,
Yeah,
Cleveland.
man. How far are you from your house? Because I prefer you to be at the house. Because this gonna be in and out. You're in and out.
Yeah, ours too. Safe.
So yeah, and for safety's sake. I don't want Miss Nona to be mad at me.
Can you hear us, Cleveland?
So,
He not
so
even-
Cleve, even if you can hear us or whatever, and I'm gonna text you even if you can't hear me. I'm just gonna go ahead and just hold you off until you get to the house, bro. Yeah. Let me just take that.
Okay. And I don't have a hard stop or anything, so we can wait on them if we need to. What about you, Keith?
Okay.
You know, you see where I am. You see I'm in my workroom, right?
So you good?
Girl, I have money out, girl. Everybody wants their bellies done. Like
I know,
everybody.
right? It's summertime.
Yes. And they hitting me up. You know, I gotta get it.
Right.
So y'all work at the same place?
I'm jobless
No.
right now.
Huh?
She's not jobless. She's retired. There's a difference. We are both retired. There's a difference.
Cool.
Yeah, I was working at Coke, but 331 was my last day, so I'm a free agent.
Okay, free agent. So,
It's not-
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call myself.
Why you scared? Why you just advertising this water then? What's up with that? I mean, you supposed to be celebrating right
Oh,
now.
I'm Coke for life now. I'm Coke for life. 25 years in, baby. My stock still
Right. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
That retirement.
Oh,
Send me my money. Right.
How many years you were with Coca-Cola? How many years?
in 25 in June.
25 in June. So for
Yeah.
me, I've been with the city for this will be 26 years with me.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is- Yeah.
So both of y'all work for Coke.
No, I used to work for the Postal Service.
Gotcha.
I retired from there.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with this. Yeah, man. This is crazy.
I'm going to turn the ceiling down.
So what are what are you guys planning since you retired early, since everybody's still all young and energetic?
Travel.
And yeah, travel.
Well, you already been traveling. I've been watching you. You already been on the go.
You're right. It's gonna be even more now, probably. But yeah,
Right.
I'm just gonna chill until I get tired of that, and then go into life coaching.
Okay.
We'll never get tired of traveling ever.
Well, I'm getting tired of not doing anything.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't set no alarm. I just get up, whatever the day.
Right. Isn't it lovely? It's lovely.
Right.
Oh, so you do enjoy doing your own thing.
I do.
Okay. Some people have a problem with that. You know, I had some
They
guys.
do, but I haven't. Like,
Yeah. I'm like, I don't get it. To me, it's like a damn slave mentality. Like, what's going on? You know?
I know. Like, how are you tired of creating your own path every day?
Right. But see, that's the
Some
thing.
people are busybodies. They're
No,
used
but
to
yeah,
other
but I
people
think- I
thinking
think-
for them.
Yes, but I also think they're like, you know, they've been
Conditioned.
they've
Programmed.
yeah.
I think of some of that
The
too.
word I was looking for, institutionalized. That's it.
Yeah, institutionalized.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
They don't even realize that you can honestly, like, if you need to do something today, go volunteer or make money that day. Like, there are things you can pop out of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I tell people, you know,
You don't have to do something all the time.
and
Right.
really, to be honest with you, like our jobs have been like they steal most of our precious time. I know the most precious thing we have is our
Mhm.
time.
Right.
You know, and they dangle the wage over our head to keep us there. You know, we
But
go
I was
along.
fortunate enough, I'm gonna say, in Coke though, to create my path because it's global. So I would switch jobs every 2-3 years so that I can keep it fresh and not have to work too hard. Like if I knew a manager like they people in the office, that was not the job for me. I'm like,
Oh, so you floated around a bit,
yeah, 18 positions, yep, over my 25 years.
and all of the positions were right here in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, but 4 different locations. Yep, here in Atlanta. Mhm.
That's what's up. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
if I got tired of people, I'd be like, you know what? Let me go find another job. You getting on my nerves.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
What
what's up.
am I looking for?
You making some beads now? Waist beads now? Or?
Waist beads. Yes, honey. Yes. I need to make like 20 something waist beads before Thursday. And I have to bake a cake.
You have them on pre-order.
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
Yeah, I
Because you make
remember.
more in like an hour.
Yeah, I remember when I
Right.
went to Africa. Those that was they wear those waist beads. Those West African girls. They wear
Hmm. They do.
they say, according to them, they say it helps shape their waist.
It
gives them-
does.
It does, because if you eat a little bit too much, you're gonna feel it. Because I got 7 of them.
You will feel it
You'll feel it. They be rolling all the way up here.
all up under your chest. Like, yeah, they gonna let you know.
I mean, I think it was a nice look when I saw it. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. And then they can have stones on some, like amethyst, whatever you want to put on them too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they sleep with it, shower with it.
Yeah, I have on 14, and I've had most of these on over 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Cool. That's what's up. So what inspired you to do that?
One of my friends actually inspired me. I had already started making
I have a cousin does
jewelry
that.
with natural stones,
Okay.
but after I started doing the jewelry, the bracelets, the anklets, the earrings, those type of things, she was like, waist beads are a thing. So for me, I only make custom waist beads. I don't have the ones that they send over in bulk and they all look the same. There's 500 of them. They all look the same. I make customized waist beads.
Okay. That's what's up. And you say you bake cakes also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I like to call myself the domestic goddess. I do it all. I cook, I bake.
Is
I'm an
that
entrepreneur.
the business name for your side hustle?
Is that the business? No, I should have. That's a good idea.
I like that name. That name is real catchy.
The domestic goddess.
I like it.
Yes. I
Domestic.
like it.
Yeah, I like that. See, yeah. I need a percentage of that though.
Give you a little cut. Get your cut out of it.
Just give me 10%.
Yeah.
The first 10%. After that, it's all yours. You can have it.
I might need to do some rebranding.
Right.
Man.
Domestic Goddess LLC.
Yeah. Domestic goddess. Wow. So where's your next stop, Mo? What you got your eyes on? What's your next stop? What you trying to
Next week, I'm headed back to Florida, to Tampa and Orlando, and then July, St. Croix.
Okay.
St. Croix.
I'm trying to get about the States now. I'm like, okay.
Girl, I'm going to Florida on Sunday. So I'm trying to get all these people orders. Huh?
What part?
Panama City.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll be down there first. So.
And I leave on the 22nd. Yeah, I just got me a nice little condo on the beach so I can just sit out there. Yes.
I'm not gonna leave until Wednesday and then come back on the 1st. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah. I had to go on and get back because I'll be in Africa next month. So
which part of Africa you going?
Mozambique.
Mozambique. Okay, that's East Africa, right?
Yes. It's
Yes.
Eastern.
Yes. I haven't been to East Africa yet.
Me either. I've only been south.
I've only been west. I've been to Ghana twice, but my next place I would like to go probably let's see.
Mo, we need to go to Senegal.
Gambia, probably both. But right now, for diasporas, Gambia is popping right now. Yeah, you can get some land for very cheap. I'm talking to like maybe a quarter acre or something like that for like $2,000, something crazy.
Wait, yeah.
Look, or we can get a whole acre for $8,000.
I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. Check it out.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Look into it. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, people are, on the low, but people get distracted by other stuff. But a lot of people are setting up from America as well as Canada. Yeah.
I've heard.
I'm on a few different continents.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's how you do it.
Right.
Actually, that was my first. That was my first place to go was Africa.
You're in the DR, right?
Yeah, that's why I am. Yeah, but things change when I met my wife.
Okay.
Of course.
Oh man.
So what are we? Girl. So how did your friend like her waist beads? I meant to ask you that.
Yeah, she loves them.
I meant to ask.
I'm sure she'll get more.
Tell I'm ready whenever she is.
How long does it take to assemble one of those things?
It depends on what they're getting, but anywhere from 10, 15 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on what they're getting.
All right, cool.
So yeah, I have a full. I'll be up late tonight making waist beads. I might need to stop drinking the wine because the wine will make me sleepy.
You gotta slow down your progress.
Right, at least slow it down. So yeah, wine might not have been the best idea, but it's working for now.
Right.
So who's the Mo? He didn't mention the guy. I don't know what guy he's having. I wonder if it's somebody we know.
I know.
I don't think y'all know this guy.
Oh, okay.
But then again, I don't know. I name Fu Quan something. I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
I have no idea. Yeah. But he hasn't chimed in yet, so I don't know what's going on. I mean, I sent everybody email at the same time. I don't know what's going on.
Because the ladies are always on top of their things.
Right. Even though Cleveland had us download the wrong app.
For real? Hold on. So you have the duck one.
Yeah,
I did the other one.
He download. I mean, he sent us a picture and circled another one. Stream left.
Right, he did.
So I downloaded that one first, and Daniel's the only reason I got this one.
Wow.
So mine, I downloaded the one with the little robot, and it's blue.
And it still works.
Yeah, it's working.
You didn't switch over to Daniel's link?
I did, but it still linked me. It didn't make me have to download anything else. So I guess they're kind of intertwined or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like going straight to StreamYard though. It's a better user experience.
It is.
Yeah.
It's user friendly.
This one said my mic and my camera wasn't working at first, and I don't know why it wasn't working. It said it didn't have permission or something, but I gave it permission, so I had to go out and redo it, and then it was fine.
Okay, he gave me a text and said he's 6 minutes away. But still, where's this other guy though? That's what I'm tripping on right now. Like, what's up with him?
Right. I guess it's just you two. You just have to.
That's it. We're gonna work it out.
Handle it on your own.
Oh, I'm gonna have to step in. That's it.
Gonna have to step in.
I
need pen and paper so I can take notes. Just in case y'all can tell me something I don't know.
Oh.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Mm-hmm. I'm always open to learn.
Good. Good.
So how long is the podcast? What, an hour? 45 minutes?
We normally try to go
typically.
but we could go as long as we want to. It's not a limit.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I just like to go towards an hour because one, I just realize how, sometimes people, they have a short attention span. But if it's going and if the energy is still high, I let it spill over the 1 hour mark. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, the last one we did was over an hour.
Yeah, we did. We were going. Yeah.
What was the topic?
Like an hour 40. So we was rolling into the second hour almost, right?
It was like an hour.
Yeah, like an hour 40, hour 30.
It was.
Yeah. It was actually
miscommunication.
Yeah, I wish we had that one on YouTube. That was pretty good. That was a pretty damn good show.
It was.
Yeah.
You may have to revisit that topic.
We will. We'll do a part 2. Make sure.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, we'll do a part 2.
That's a good.
We'll do a part 2, and then we'll make sure the guys are on time too. How about that?
How are you gonna do that? How you plan on making that happen?
Oh man, I don't know. I gotta get creative.
I'm telling you. And he set the time. That's the funny part. He told us what time.
We said we
Right.
good whatever time.
Right.
We even be trying to be in the bed key at 8:00.
Oh Lord. Oh man. Oh man
Hold
vibes.
up,
I'm
man.
trying to be
I go to bed early too. I go to bed early too.
see.
I could
Mo,
go
we
to bed.
didn't we still gotta go to that restaurant too, Mo.
Oh yeah, when we doing that? I forgot.
I know. I wanted to do it this week, but it's probably too late because they only take reservations.
Okay. Well, let's do it when we both get back then.
Yeah, I about to say we'll have to wait till we both get back in town. So I get back. Yeah. Yeah.
When you doing Mozambique? When is that?
That's what I was just thinking about. So I'll be leaving for Mozambique on the 25th.
So
And I won't be back till
Is that a group trip?
June. Yes and no. Like there's a group of us that go all this is like my 3rd or 4th time over there.
Okay, to Mozambique.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you like it?
Yeah. It's a hassle now with COVID and everything. I can't even lie, it's a hassle.
I mean, okay, pre-COVID.
But pre-COVID I enjoyed it. You know, there's still a little when it comes to
leave right now.
right.
Because I'm like, we get free when we travel. I don't like all the
right.
Yeah,
and
I don't
so
like
when
all
it
the
comes to like
restrictions
the visa process, they're very lax over there. There's no sense of urgency. There's like you'll just see people just in the airport, they're literally just sitting around gossiping, talking to each other when they're supposed to be processing your visa. So we'll be there for 4 hours for something that's supposed to take 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Right.
Well, both of you guys seem like you're well traveled. You should know that everybody outside of the northern, the Western Hemisphere, time is not an issue. Time is not an issue.
Like in Europe, how they do siesta, like everything shuts down.
It just like shuts down.
Yeah, that's like today. I was rushing back because I didn't want to be late, and my wife was like, "Why are you driving fast?" Like she just didn't get it. Like,
but y'all can always move the time with us. Just text and say, "Hey, we vibing out here. What about 6? We good."
I mean, I just didn't want to do that, because I take y'all,
don't do that with me because I might have plans.
I try to take you guys time because
I'm saying, or he can at least check.
I don't know what y'all have.
Yeah,
I don't
check
know
and see.
I don't know what y'all have to do, so I try to respect it because,
right.
Again, I'm just trying to make myself flexible for you guys, so I don't want to disturb that. And y'all be like, "Oh shit, he full of shit. Let me get out of here."
Like, if you check with me, I'll be like, "Well, no, that doesn't work with me. Let's stick with 5:30." But
right, you can just ask though.
I'm big on communication. I love to be like,
yeah,
it's gonna flow.
That's what's up.
Plus, I ain't got no job. I mean,
you ain't got no job, Craig.
That's right. I got 2 retirees on here.
Right.
Got no job.
Right. I was rushing to get home though to make sure I can get on here.
That's why I was saying.
I was out shopping today.
And that's why I'm saying good if they to get a text and Cleveland tells, "Hey, I'm in traffic. What about this?" So that nobody rushes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Because that would have worked for me.
That is so true.
Does he know to dial back in when he get home?
Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got it.
And he know how Atlanta traffic is. This place is horrible. Right.
Yeah, I've been talking to him earlier. It's been a real bad accident. I think he said
I saw an accident today at the shopping center. 2 people ran the stop sign and they T-boned each other. It was crazy.
And that's why
I think they both ran the stop sign. Yeah. And so the guy T-boned the other lady, all her airbags deployed. It was crazy. So her passenger just jumps out the car. And I guess it was the adrenaline because right after the accident, she just jumped out the car and then she started holding her head. So I was like, why did you jump out the car?
Yeah, that's the adrenaline.
Yeah. It was the adrenaline. It had to be.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Like, let me get out of here. Get the safety.
And that airbag just popped her, but those things hurt. That thing, because all of her airbags were out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was
So, yeah, I know how to get around. I don't get in traffic too often. So
right. These Atlanta natives, we go all the back roads.
all of them, because I'm like, I refuse. I check
You
GPS.
from here, Miss G? You from here?
I am.
Okay,
I'm from
what
Atlanta.
side of town?
The west side, southwest Atlanta.
Really?
Yes,
Was you
sir.
Mays,
Huh?
Darrell? Mays, Darrell, what school?
I was on to Washington High School, but I went to North Atlanta and I went to South Atlanta.
Okay. So Washington is actually west side, not south.
It's on the west side. Yep.
Yeah.
It's on the west side.
I'm from the west side, yeah.
You from the west?
I was
on where?
But I'm still Southwest Atlanta though.
I'm zone one. I'm from Perry Homes.
Oh, my dad was he found out he wasn't my daddy at the end of the day. But yeah, I know people from Perry Homes.
What zone? I'm zone 3.
Zone 1.
3? I'm 3.
3, yeah.
Well, I don't know, because when I was born, my mama lived in Leela Valley, I think. So that was over there by Perry Homes.
Okay.
I was born at Grady.
Leela Valley? Where's Leela Valley?
Yeah.
I've heard
Bankhead, that
okay.
area.
Okay.
Yeah,
like
that's
close to the bluff.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Well, not by the bluff, more like Bankhead, like the other way.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
Yeah, close to the Perry Homes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All these Atlantans.
Yeah.
Right. I know. And then here comes Cleveland with his New York.
I know. And they always try to act like there's nobody here from Atlanta. I'm like, yes, we are. We just don't go to the spot y'all just discovered.
Right.
But he came real early though. He came real early. He's not like these people coming in now. They swarming the city right now. Atlanta is changing, and the city is definitely not the same.
It's not.
Definitely not.
As expensive or getting expensive like LA and New York though.
Oh, let me tell you.
It really is.
Right now, within the next, I'm telling you my prediction, the next 10 years, you won't even be able to, Atlanta gonna be so expensive, you won't be able to drive through Atlanta.
you can't drive through Atlanta now. You see what happened to Cleveland.
Right. Okay, we got the other guy in. There you go.
Come on, other guy.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Y'all gonna get my name right. I heard y'all was disrespecting my name while I was off the scene. Say now, my name.
Okay,
what's going on, everybody?
It's F-U by itself.
Trying to get my like.
Is it Fu or Fu Quan?
If you don't like it, Fu Quan.
So it's Fu. Fu Quan.
But nobody call me Fu Quan.
Okay, call you Fu.
Quan.
Okay, what you want us to call you?
Players for like Theo Fu. Fu, F-U.
F-U. Okay, Fu. All right. So now we're just waiting on Fu.
All right. So we got Key. We got Key and Mo. Okay.
Yeah, we got Key, Mo, waiting on Cleveland.
And now we gotta have Fu.
Yeah, I just got off the line with him.
So where you from, Mr. Fu?
Trying to get my light right. I'm originally from Jersey, but I've been in Atlanta for 14 years.
Gotcha.
I've been here for 14 years since 07.
Okay.
You love it? If not, you can't talk
about you, brother.
I'm from Atlanta, born and raised, man.
I love it here.
But I don't
best move I made of my life.
Yeah, that sounds like all Northerners.
Especially the ones from New Jersey. All the people I know from New Jersey are like, you know what? Yeah, it's time to get out of there.
They come through here. What? That's all they have to pay. We get all of this.
Right.
We've been living
how I felt.
1,500.
Exactly.
Like a slave trying to get on this show.
They come to Atlanta, man, and lose their mind.
Then you have all the beautiful ladies here.
Oh boy, we're gonna talk about all that. But when I first moved, I came down here and
So, in your opinion, who got the best looking woman?
07.
Who got the best looking woman? New Jersey or Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Atlanta got that down pat. Oh man.
We'll have razor blade scars.
Atlanta got that down pat. Nah.
We know that.
I think the only one that's really messing with Atlanta right now is Miami and maybe LA. That's it.
LA.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
LA, Miami, then it's Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's the only other way. It's you. The competition is heavy out there.
Yeah.
But I've been
All
here
right,
since
so
'07, and just the culture down here was something that wanted me to come here. That led me here.
gotcha. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, man, because I've had these nice, beautiful women waiting on you, Mr. Fu and Mr. Cleveland. And Cleveland, when he come in, he's just gonna chime in. He's my co-host. So today we're saying, how did we get here? The battle of the sexes. Why are we in this space right now? And from a female's perspective as well as a male perspective.
Who's going
Ladies first, right?
It doesn't matter whoever want to go first.
Let's hear it, Mo. How do we get here?
How do we
We
get here,
got
Mo?
here. I would say we got here because there's an unwillingness on both sides to come together and communicate, and let the past be the past. Start fresh, see the value in one another, and be real, and stop pointing fingers.
So you saying that is both man and woman?
I think it's an equal balance, and that's what I think the issue is. The women say it's the men. The men got to lead. They got to stand up. They got to do this. And then there's a percent of the women need to change, because once they change, then the men will change, and the men will take after that. But I just really feel like it. If we say the women want, okay, what's next? So either way it goes, if there's a winner of who's the most disrespected, who's the most hated, who's the most whatever, because I see that battle all the time on social media. I'm like, what does that do? You know what I mean? What does that really accomplish if you are the most hated in America or the most? It doesn't do anything, right? We still have to get to the point where we come together, and that's going to take that communication, that openness, and that just looking at both sides and saying, hey, we own this, and now let's go ahead and move forward.
Okay.
Keep thinking.
I feel like it's way deeper. I feel like there are certain things that were ingrained in us as a culture when it comes to men and women and the roles that certain people should play, the role of a man, the role of a woman. I think there are certain things that have been ingrained in us for so long that we've kind of lost track of where we were in the beginning. So, for instance,
so when did we lose track? And just from your opinion, when did we?
I think we lost track when they brought us over here. I mean, we had to adapt to a lot of things that we didn't used to do.
Yeah, but I hear that. I mean, but you're going. I mean, of course.
Yeah, that's way further. So
Yeah,
for now, let's say when women started, I would even look at the welfare system. When they say, hey, we'll give you this apartment, but you can't have a man in the house.
Okay.
And then the woman is like, well, I can get a place to live and I can work, and I don't need this man because this man only brings trouble. And so now the man is like, well, where does that put me? You saying you don't need me and you don't want me here because they're giving you this, but I can give you more. But the woman is like, nah, because it's not guaranteed.
What you got, Brother Fu?
I believe it's mainly I believe that it's the question is the battle of the sexes, right? Like how we get here to the battle of the sexes.
The battle of the sexes.
I believe we got here because it's hard for the sexes to agree that we're not equal. We're not equal. And we're not equal. And
we're not equal.
And there's double standards that apply. And both sexes have to accept those double standards, even the ones that don't benefit them, So I believe that
What
No, do we have
opinion?
to?
There is a battle
Do we have to accept
because
Let me write
yeah,
my pen.
Let him finish,
we have
lady.
to
Hold on.
hold up.
Let him
But
finish.
men have to accept the women double standards, and y'all have to accept ours. It's just reality. Being that we aren't equal, we have the double standards. So men or women have positions on this planet, and the roles aren't being played correctly. Like the men are in their feminine energy. I mean, masculine energy, and the women are in their feminine energy, and that we have a battle because of the chemistry. It's convoluted because it's
Throw it
not
off.
in the place that it needs to be. Yeah, because it's energy. Everything
We're
is
out of order.
energy,
We're
negative
out
and
of order.
positive.
We're
So
out of order.
when we out of order. That's how we got it. We out of order.
That's it.
the
We're
answer
out
to
of
the
order.
question.
I,
To sum
I
it up,
like I
pretty
like
much.
that answer, bro. I like that answer. I like that answer, brother.
But let me touch on what she was about to say. Like, do we have to accept it? All right. I'm in the entertainment industry, right?
Right.
You have to accept double standards because listen to this. You never heard the club say men get in free.
Facts.
You never heard a woman complain about getting in for free either.
Facts.
A woman could go to the club and not spend a dime and have a great time. A man can't do that. That's a double standard,
But we
but
don't
it
care.
benefits you. We don't care. You don't hear men crying. Why the
Yeah.
girls? Why the ladies getting in for free?
Right. Right.
But
That is
All
so
right.
true.
it
I
benefits you
also
all.
work in clubs. I've been in nightclubs.
It does benefit the
all type of
men.
restaurants. Do you see how many male hostess do you see working at clubs?
Depending on what club you go
Oh
to.
wait, how many? How? Okay, well, you gave me some clubs where you see men bottle girls, men hookah, men selling hookah, men selling anything in the club. You might go to a
Right.
restaurant on Fridays and see a male hostess, but you're not going to any establishment night facility and seeing men, catering to the people. Do you?
That's true.
Crickets. I need some sound effects.
Okay, hold on, brother.
Okay,
Don't
so
bring them
it's
up.
double standards. So we have to deal with those double standards. So y'all have to deal with ours as well.
So what are the male double standards? What are
Yeah.
some examples where the man benefits and the women don't?
Well,
Repeat
you give me
that.
some. I don't know. Like I said,
I'm just wondering because I personally I don't go out to a lot of clubs.
Repeat
I don't know what's going on.
But I was just using that as an example. I
Right.
can give you a way more example. Okay, I'll give you a real powerful one.
Mhm.
I could give you the most powerful one on this planet to me.
Okay.
You guys get the benefit, and y'all have the double standard to bring life into this world or not.
Facts.
But that's not a double standard. That's nature.
Yeah.
That is a double standard because it takes
That's
a man
nature.
to produce a
Yeah, but if a
child
man
with.
want it, if a man wants it and you don't want it, you're gonna have the final say. So that's what he's saying. And there's nothing he
It's a
can do
double
about it.
standard. If you don't,
That's double. There's nothing he can do
nothing
about
I
it.
could do about
But
it.
You
yeah,
cannot sleep
you
with
And
you
that's the-
cannot sleep with women that you don't
Hey,
feel like you want to have children with.
Miss K,
You have a choice.
cannot. You trying to
Okay.
move the Dokos.
Miss K.
No, you have
Listen,
a choice.
I said that does not take away. Listen, that does not take away from the fact that you have the choice to make. I don't. It doesn't take away. Once a man gives a woman his seed, is out of his control 100%.
Right.
He can't say
That's very
the baby
true.
could be born. The baby,
Right.
he can't say anything about the baby. Nothing. We have no
That's
rights.
very true.
Okay,
You have the
I just
right
give you
to
a lot
keep
of
your
double
seed.
standards. So I gave you a one to the minimum to the club. I gave you a small one to the club, and I gave you a big one all the way to bringing life into this world.
On the
You
biological.
have the right to withhold your seed.
Y'all already winning when it comes to double standards. But when
Right.
a man has any type of double
Really?
standard, how y'all get to do that?
We're winning
No,
because of the double standard?
That's a challenge I'm seeing there because I don't think we at this battle because men think we're winning and then women think men are winning. Because when you look at another double standard, when it comes
It's not that we're thinking that you're winning. We just noticed that there is double standards.
okay, yeah, we know that
too.
Double
what I was
standards
saying,
exist.
I simplified it in the
Right.
beginning. However, the fact still remains that there's one side that believes one thing in totality and another that believes another. And I think it can be equal it could be equal.
Right.
You know, because of the thing,
Right.
like, okay,
It's
yeah,
not equal. That's
yeah, they're
why
double
y'all
standards
keep
for
trying
the
to
woman
say
thing, but
equal.
also
No,
It's not equal.
that's why it's a
not
listen,
equal.
you didn't let me finish.
You keep
Let me
using
finish.
equal.
We
Okay,
let you finish.
Okay, let her
Mhm.
talk. Let her
No, I'm saying it may not be apples to apples, but it's all fruit is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Where there are those double standards. Same thing as a woman and a man doing the same job or the same career, but there's that gender pay gap. You see what I'm saying? So there are standards there that just off strength of being a man,
Mhm.
you're gonna get a bigger check, the same role, and may not even do the
Mhm.
job as well.
Mhm.
So there's that. I'm simply saying
Mhm.
there are still, it's all fruit. It's all in the same bucket, that there are double standards. And I feel like there should not be a debate all the time over who has the worst or the more or whatever, because that doesn't profit, right?
I agree.
That's what
I agree.
they know.
Because at the
I
end
agree.
of the day, we all share benefits that the other sex does not share. We all do it. So, but back to this whole masculine and feminine energy thing.
Right.
Both men and women possess masculine and feminine energy. So men don't possess 100% masculine energy and women don't possess 100% feminine energy. That is not true. We all have both.
Nobody
So
said
how
that.
you operate in that depends
Nobody
on
ever
your
said
level
it's
of
100%.
maturity.
we're not disputing that, Miss Key.
No, I was just addressing when he mentioned it. Like he's like the men
I
and their
agree with
masculine,
Cleveland. He's right.
because women
No,
can get
no.
masculine energy as well.
But I never say. Listen, can I speak? Can I speak? I want
Brother
to
Pooh, go
make
ahead.
this clear at the beginning of this podcast, right? Because this is
Right.
something that I see in a lot of podcasts, and it irks me like a lot. There's nothing 100%. There's never all to anything.
Right.
So
Right.
when anybody makes a statement, please don't come back with all, because
Right.
nothing on this planet is 100%.
Right.
We all know one man and man are in the same word. So we know we have the same masculine, qualities, feminine qualities and masculine qualities. But men, like in this era right now, many men aren't living in their masculine energy and vice versa. A lot of women aren't living in their femininity. And being
Right.
that they're not living in their femininity and men are living in their masculinity, we have the battle of the sexes, because we're looking at each other like, what the hell is going on?
Right.
We're confused by each other because the lack of understanding. And like I said, it comes to a lack of respect, because one sex start feeling like the other set might have one step above them, and it's not like that. Like you said, is we both have our struggles, origin apples, however you want to put it. But at the end of the day, you cannot say that, hey, we have to just be able to accept the fact that we both have masculine and feminine and masculine energy in us. Like, we all know that.
Right.
Hey people, what's going on?
What's up, Cleveland?
Hey, you can't get
We got Brother Cleve, man. We got Brother Cleve, man.
Oh, we do got some sound effects.
Yeah, we got some, brother.
Okay, so I'm just stepping in and y'all talking about
Miss Key, she just hold on. There she go. Let me. I got you, Miss Key. I'm about to put you back in. I guess she
put it back in the ring.
knocked herself out. There you go. You back in. You back in the game, sister.
So what I've been listening to some of it. So basically y'all talking about masculine, well, men and women.
No, we're saying how did we get it? No, the question is how did we get in this position? And Miss Mo raised the question. She think it's 50-50. Brother Fu was like, no, he disagreed. He was just saying things are basically, in so many words, things are out of order as far as the purpose of the woman and the purpose of the man. I think that's what he was saying.
That's throwback. I didn't say 50-50. I don't believe in percentages on anything, because that's not what it is. I just believe that there's a pool of issues
and I'm saying that we're not equal. We're not equal.
What does these roles look like? I think that at some point, who gets to determine the role of the woman, the role of the man, what is masculine, what is feminine. Who gets to determine that? Because people have so many different perceptions.
Nature.
Mm-hmm. If you
nature in part, yes.
Society
Society plays a role as well, though. We have to acknowledge that
let's
society.
Go back to the essence of, okay, what's the purpose of, what is our main purpose as men and women? Let me ask you that.
To reproduce.
Okay, and then after that, everything else is pleasure, right? So you cannot reproduce with a woman and a woman, right? Hello?
No.
You cannot produce with a man and a man, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we know in order for this world to continue to go on, man and woman have to interact with each other sexually to procreate. Right?
What if people don't? What if they don't want to procreate?
That is our natural purpose of being here and to produce, so the world can continue to go on. If everybody,
not all women and all men don't want to have children.
Listen, again, that's what Fu was trying to say.
Yeah,
you're still trying to pull something. Everything is not 100%, as though he stated earlier.
Right.
Yes,
but majority wants to have a family. Majority men and majority women want to be married. So when we're talking about these things, we're talking about the majority. Majority wants to be married. They just do. Majority wants to have kids. They just do. But we have to understand what our purpose is.
Right.
This planet. And that's where it starts at. And a lot of times we get away from our purpose.
And it's also in a man's nature to be protectors, to go out here and hunt. It's also in your nature as a woman to be a gatherer, a nurturer.
A nurturer.
Right. That's just the way it's designed. I mean, me and you can have sex, but at the end of the day, you're gonna get pregnant, not me. That's just the way it's designed. We're not the same.
If you ever confused, in my opinion, go back before all this modern day stuff. Go back in history books. Look at the tribes before all this modern stuff, and look at the position of the men and the women. The men and the boys went out into the forest, gathered the trees, cut the trees, killed the food. It's there. It's there. At the age of 7 and 8, the boys went out with the men. The men went out to get whatever the village would need for the women and the children. The women stayed in the village. They multiplied whatever the men brought back. That's how it's supposed to go. Right. That's not how it is anymore.
And see, that's and I think with the modern society, with all these equal rights, being pushed, this feminist movement, the Me Too, all this stuff. I think all this stuff has really distorted our thought process, particularly our black woman. I'm just being honest. Well, and I think that causes a lot of problems. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's solely females. Let me say that. I don't want to I'm just singling you guys out, but I'm saying now it's more noticeable than ever before, coming from that side. Now, don't get me wrong. We have some guys that not doing their job. Okay, we've already been through that. Okay, he's not doing his job, this and that. But we're talking about right now. It's more sisters they really getting away from. They're just more into the modern way of doing things, and the modern way of doing things is not necessarily correct. And I think that is what causes a lot of problems within relationships between man and woman in the black community. My opinion.
Because a modern man, a traditional man would never ever be able to coexist with a modern woman. It just
always cause problems and friction.
Cause problems. But women want a traditional man, but they want to issue modern ways, and that would never happen.
But they're not traditional women.
That's interesting. So
that's what you got to say.
Because
they want.
I would venture to say that you can be looked at two ways. There is a fine line. You can still have and possess great feminine energy, believe in the gender roles that work for you in your household and your nucleus. And some can be traditional, some may not be, because like women today are going to work. That's not a thing a lot of times where they cannot work, right? So there are women who
have a problem with that.
Say it again.
I don't think the average man have a problem with a woman working.
I get it. That's what if we try and go to the root. I'm just saying we're not going to the root of tradition because tradition women weren't working. Is what I'm saying. So there is some kind of what you call evolution in the role of a woman, and there should be evolution in the role of a man, in my opinion. I'm not done yet. However, I feel like where we're losing it is some men want to be 100% traditional in their role, while saying they want that from a woman, but actually they don't want a woman to be 100% traditional if you go back to what that really means. So both, I believe, need to evolve in some ways and still keep the masculine energy balanced with the feminine, still keep some polarity, but you know what I'm saying? Understand that both can evolve in some ways, but not take on everything that modern society has brought into play, right?
But I think we get sucked into it anyway, whether it's directly or indirectly, because we're in it. We're in the culture. We're in the United States. So this is what
I believe it's like I go back to with everything, there's communication, and the proper communication isn't had because people won't listen and it won't be heard. It's so the battle is still there, and the battle takes the forefront rather than communication and understanding. You know what I mean? To get into the root of, okay, what do you want in this connection with me? Whether it's like for my brothers, whether it's platonic and he's a friend, I want to know what you want, what you need. Because every time I connect with you in any way, this is for females too, but for the sake of this conversation with my brothers, I'm going to like and love you on the strength of you deserve to be like and loved, right? And I think one thing that happens is a lot of women don't come in that space because they're not taught to come in that space. And that's where feminine energy comes into play. And a lot of brothers the same way. They don't come to when they first meet women in an act of service, because both of them is service, really. It's like we're here for each other. So come together with that service and with the mind of serving one another, benefiting one another, and forgetting the whole battle that's in the forefront. And then you get to that communication part and understanding, and you can get that polarity back. That's just my point of view.
And I agree with you, Mo, but it doesn't get to that. They don't have them conversations. We don't have them conversations because it's sex, and then we have the conversations after that.
But also, I disagree with that too, because you can have sex and still have the conversation and still be whole. I just think you don't.
I agree with that. I agree, but people don't. They can't separate the two.
No, that is because the people aren't communicators. Period. You see what I'm saying? That we need to stop thinking that everything has to be done in one way. The basic the problem is you're just not a good communicator if you never get around communicating that. Because there are people who wait 6 months to have sex and still never have the real conversation they need to have.
Right. But I think we both have gotten away from both male and female in the Black community. I just think we've gotten away from just the whole interaction with each other. It's something there, man. It's
I feel like there's a lot of trauma there. Yeah. There's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of hurt. Black women like, these men have hurt me. A lot of Black women don't feel protected. Like you said earlier, you said for the most part, the man is the protector and a provider, a hunter, things like that. Well, a lot of women don't feel that way. They don't feel like the Black man has protected them. They don't feel like the Black man has provided. And for some Black men, I would venture to say that they don't feel like the Black woman respects their masculinity but what does that look like? Because I run across a lot of men with this false sense of masculinity, because you feel like just because you're a man, you're masculine. Like, what does this whole distortion of what masculinity looks like, and this whole distortion of what femininity looks like, we've allowed so many people to come in and tell us what it's supposed to be, that I don't think a lot of times people even know. They don't even know. Like, I'll hear a man say, "Oh, I don't take no bath. That's for a woman." What you mean you can't sit in the tub? Like, I can see if you're 6'8" and your tub is 5'5". Okay, no, you can't sit in the tub. It's too little.
Keith, Miss Key, I don't know what kind of man you dealing with.
No, I don't deal with those type of men, but I've heard it. I don't deal with those type of men, but I've heard it. Like
He's not
literally, these
standing
are
out there to kill him,
conversations.
is he?
So he go in there and take a little bird bath.
Right. And it's like, oh, I only take showers. I'm like, what do you like? These are conversations I've just heard.
You got,
Like, I don't
you got some guys that's to the
Oh my
they
God.
take it to the extreme as far as what
They do.
supposed to be.
But let me say this. But let me say this though. She, Miss Key, she has a point also.
Yeah, she does.
I've witnessed brothers who also been hurt, and they
Right.
like you know screw this B, and you know I don't trust none of them.
Right.
Da, 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 da. So it's been people been hurt on both sides. But I
Right.
think the biggest problem for us is one, we don't get counseling, but two, we
Definitely that.
we don't know how to. You got to get this. It's like a it's like you got to get it out your system. You know what I'm saying? It's like a sickness. You got to get it out your system before you move forward. And I think a lot of times a lot of times we get hurt. We're hurt, and then we try to jump into a relationship. See what I'm saying? So you got to get
Right.
that person out of your system before you try to interact with somebody else. And I think a lot of times a lot of time the female, she go into the relationship and the guy don't see it, you know, because he's focused on what he see, because he's physically attracted to her by what he see. So he don't know that she's going through, she's been through some relationship problems because she's hid it. And then once when he get into a relationship, she get mad at him for certain things that trigger, that triggers her, and then he wonder why she exploded on him, you know, or why she acted out on him, and a certain thing he said, a certain thing he did, which is crazy. And then on the other side, as far as men, well, they just have trust issues because they've been hurt by a woman. But we have to learn that first of all, you're gonna go through that. There's no such thing as nobody not breaking up and always you win. You know, somebody broke up with you. It's not always you had to break it off. Somebody, you know, hurt your feelings before, and we just have to learn to just move on. It's just part of life. But I think that we don't talk about it, and I think we should talk about it earlier so people can handle.
I've never been dumped. I don't know how that feels.
A lot of men don't handle rejection. A lot of men don't handle rejection well. You know what I'm saying? It's because they have not been taught that rejection is a part of life.
Exactly.
You break the cycle by raising healthier children and having an understanding, right?
Right.
For instance, like
Who raises
kids.
the children?
You said it again.
He said who's raising the children.
That too, but I also want us to do
Go
this.
ahead,
Not
finish your statement.
we not always look at the far extreme of the most unhealthiest, toxic people, and realize there's a lot of people in the middle who don't have the kind of trauma that can't be worked through and all of that, because there's a great deal of those people who can be the change agents for it. You get what I'm saying? And we always ignore that piece. We come up with the idea of we have to sometimes pivot those people who won't take a bath, and we it's people who, you know, right. We don't have to reach for them right now. Like there's people just that aren't doing the moves just because they simply don't know. And when you're aware, just start having a conversation. For instance, like I really believe like healing and change is our responsibility individually. However, there is a person or persons who can bring that healing about in a way that you don't even know you're being healed. Yes. And you just realize it over time. And that to me is the responsibility of all of us if we want to see change, to meet and greet one another with the purpose of helping heal. Because I mean, you may not believe it, but when I encounter men, first of all, I know just off strength that it won't be something long term. It could be platonic, or it could be just a temporary connection because I want the purpose of healing for him. I want to show him a like and love level that he's never experienced, and through that he's healed and he's changed. And when you come and present yourself to a man with an abundance of feminine energy, his masculine starts to show up even more and more. That's just experience.
Mo, what you're saying, you are the comforter.
Exactly. I'm a conservationist, a comforter, a visionary. I'm all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that energy definitely would show, like you said, Mo. And I think a lot of times we we go into a relationship like y'all said, you know, you've been through a bad breakup or whatever, and you go into the next relationship, and that person to be your therapist, and that will not work because the person will see that, okay, you can talk to a person about, you know, all the things you've been through in your previous relationships and all that, but you shouldn't go into another relationship until you deal with that. You know, and the person that you're dealing with, the new person that you're dealing with, they'll be sitting here thinking like, okay, what do I supposed to do? I don't understand this. I don't understand that. But you expect that person to be your therapist, and it's not gonna work. You got to get help. And a lot of us,
I agree with that. Again, I'm not talking to the person out on the end that need a whole 2 years of therapy. I'm talking about the person who they know how to process their pain, see a therapist if they need to. They've done the work, and they still just don't know the other.
I believe that.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, Ms. Key, what you got written down on your people?
I was just about to say, looking down, what you got? Let's hit them know.
So for me, I feel like people don't take the time to heal. And actually, this was another topic that Mo and I had discussed before we settled on this one, about people not taking the time to heal. And it's not just from relationships. People have to heal from parent issues, childhood traumas. They carry all of these things into adulthood, and then they carry these things into relationships, and then they carry these things into how they rear their children, if they have any. So it's just so many layers to it. But the main thing is people don't know how to be honest.
Right.
They don't know how to be honest with themselves. So then they don't know how to be honest with anyone else. They live in these little fantasy bubbles, like they just have it all together, and no, it's not me, it's them. But people don't take the time to focus on themselves. Everyone's so busy trying to be in a relationship.
Right.
Or they don't understand how even just sleeping with multiple people affect how you go into your next relationship. Because now you want this one person to be these last 10 people, and it's impossible.
Right.
So you keep looking, you're always searching, you always one person is never enough, or it's you're always looking because you have all of these experiences just running around in your head, and you want this one person to be 20 people.
You're everything, right.
Right, and that's just not realistic.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you.
It's not realistic. So people have to start being honest with themselves. You have to be honest with who you see in the mirror every day. You have to be honest about your past. You have to be. People need therapy. Like a lot of people need to go get some counseling.
They do. I totally agree.
Did you tell that guy it's okay to take a bath?
I don't worry about them. I'm like, if you want to keep your little stinking ass, like, I like men who take a bath. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Light a candle, have some wine, take a bath, sit in the tub. Like, because I don't understand that. I don't even comprehend.
So we're going to address the other piece of the puzzle where, and I know a lot of women won't like it, but the way that single mothers raise Black boys.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about
it. It's an issue. That is an issue. That's not your boyfriend. That's not your king. What are you talking about?
Thank you.
Let's go.
Because I just see like a lot of mothers raising their sons to be the men that they hate, and that's a challenge for me to see. But of course, because I don't have children, people think I have no say so. I'm still intelligent though, and I can do 2 + 2, right? The biggest thing is I just think that needs to be addressed as well. That at some point there has to be some accountability for getting male role models in those kids' lives so that they understand themselves as masculine.
The importance of a male role model in a male's life when he's young.
But guess what, Mo? It's not just because you don't have children that they don't want to listen. I have 2 daughters, and women still don't want to listen. They'll say, well, it's because you don't have a son. No, it's because you're being really backwards right now. You're trying to raise this little boy. You raise him like he's your boyfriend, not like he has to be someone's father. someone's
Right.
husband, someone's employee.
Calling him a
You
king,
raise him,
calling him a king.
yeah,
He got a job. He up there playing fucking PlayStation.
PlayStation all day, spending all your money, eating up all your food. He doesn't cut the grass. He doesn't take out the trash. He doesn't do anything. But you're exalting him to this place,
And
and
then
now
when
he grows up.
right, he thinking
Exactly.
that this is how a woman's supposed to be to me.
Exactly.
Yes.
They want a mother.
Listen,
And
which
then they say,
causes
you're
problems for
not my mother.
you guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cause problem for your daughters, your nieces. You see?
Exactly.
That is what we're dealing with.
Exactly.
So,
We need to talk about it. It's a problem.
so for those who are there listening, if you don't have, if that father is not in that young man's life, okay, that may be your situation. If you have a brother, go that route. If you have
Right.
an uncle, a great uncle, if you have a neighbor, I mean, you
A
do
grandfather. Somebody.
put somebody in their life that of masculinity, a man, so he can see the example and the role of a man is very important. And I think that's how that's why we're not having these healthy relationships, because you can raise him to be a responsible human being, but you cannot raise him to be a man because you're not a man.
And I have gotten a lot of hatred from women when I say that. You cannot teach him how to be a man.
No,
you have never been a man one day in your life.
You can't do it.
How do you feel like you can teach this little boy? And let's even go back to the importance of a male figure. Even if you have daughters, that role is still important. It's not just if you have a son. Your daughter needs to see a healthy male figure.
You need to see how her mother interact with men.
Exactly.
And here's the flip side to that coin on the female side. So now, we've all heard this one before. I want my daughter. I'm gonna raise her where she don't need a nigga for shit. Y'all heard that, right?
Yeah.
So
it turns my stomach.
Right.
It turns my stomach.
So basically, you're training her to hate men, one, and then now she don't trust men because you already done planted the seed in her head early on. So she already have this hatred for men without her even realizing that it was already embedded in her when she was a youngster. So that's not fair.
And one thing, like I said, I have two daughters, and one of them, she'll be 25 in a couple weeks, and I have a 14-year-old. So one thing I've always taught them is I will never ever tell them they don't need a man. I will tell them to be able to stand on their own, my saying is be able to bring something to the table other than what you're sitting on.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
So you need something other than your vagina, okay? Because we all have that. So, but I will never. Well, I mean, the women have it.
My phone gonna go.
So I tell them,
Hold your phone
I
up,
will
bro.
never tell them they don't need a man. You don't, because we're meant to be. We weren't meant to be here alone.
Yeah, we're not meant to be alone, right? And you don't necessarily have to have the paperwork per se, but we are on this earth to be together. To coexist.
We want companionship, and I try to teach them to be good companions.
We have to have companionship. We'll go crazy. That's just like when you see solitary confinement. You put somebody in prison, they've been in that little one hole for a long too much time. They go crazy. We're not crazy alone. We're not designed to be alone. Period.
Kiki, do you talk to your daughters about marriage?
I do. Okay. I definitely talk to my daughters about marriage, and to me, I tell them that it's totally up to them. I'm not one of those mothers that are like, "Oh my God, when are you gonna get married? When are you gonna have a baby? When are you gonna do this? Live your life."
I disagree with that.
Be happy. You disagree with what?
Did you plug your phone?
What part?
I want you to fade out. Did you plug your phone? You found your charger?
Yeah, I did. Right. That's why
you disagree with.
Bro, we ain't want to lose. We want you to hang in here. Okay, go ahead. Finish that.
That you're not leading your daughters to look for marriage. That is one of the problems with our families. We don't have any families. It takes marriages to have families. So how could we? Well, no,
I'm not saying I don't lead them to look for marriage. I don't pressure. I won't pressure her into marriage.
That's what I disagree with. I disagree with you. Don't look. they're gonna be mad at you when they get 35 and be unmarried without a man, because it's your job as their mother to be putting that in their head of the importance of marriage and a man. And let me ask you this question: do any one of your daughters have a child?
No.
Okay.
So
Great. So
here's
they're
the
winning. All
thing.
right. So
They,
boom.
I don't feel
Right
like they
now,
will be
do they
mad
know not
because
to
here's the
parent?
thing.
Okay, Miss Key,
How old are you? How old are you, Foo?
Let him
I
finish.
don't know
Miss Key.
how old Foo is.
Okay, but let him finish. Let him finish. We're gonna go
Okay.
one at a time.
Okay. All right. I'm 42. To let you know how old I am. Okay. And like, you are responsible for what you teach your children, and marriage is very important because they shouldn't be having children unless they're married. So if you're not telling them to focus on marriage, they shouldn't even be thinking about a child, because that's how the man gets missing from the beginning. If you're married, guess what you have from the beginning of conception? Guess what you have? A man, a father in the house.
You have the
Without
nucleus
that,
there.
you're already in the negative when it comes to families. But that's what I have to say about that.
So let me
Sir.
stop. Let me stop in, Kiki. So I understand what you're
Okay,
saying.
you just don't let you talk. Just hold on, West. Hold
No,
on.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
What you're saying. So let me come at you like this. Your daughter, is she in school?
Yes,
And as far as what she's going to school to be, what?
a business consultant.
Okay, so when she got out of high school, you told her, listen, you got to focus on what your future is going to look like. So you need to get out here, get an education, go to school and do something with your life, right? You told her that, right?
Right.
A man is just as important. A family is just as important. And I think that we push our kids to look for a career and not a family.
And that's the modern woman.
The problem we have in the black community.
Woman today.
So okay, so listen. So the reason I asked, so Foo, have you ever been married?
Yes, I have.
You have. How many times?
Next question.
I said how many times? One.
One time. I've been married once.
Okay.
Yes.
So here's the thing. I teach my daughter to focus on healthy relationships. Getting married does not guarantee you'll have a family. It guarantees you'll have a husband.
Well,
So
nothing's
let's
guaranteed in life.
just be realistic. Nothing is guaranteed, and that's correct. I try to teach my daughters to focus on having healthy relationships. A lot of people get married because that's what you're supposed to do. Who is teaching people what it means to be married, what it means to be a wife, what it means to be a husband? Now, granted, I have been in long-term relationships. I've been married since I was
So are you teaching them that? Why are you teaching them that?
25, 26. I'm 42. So my daughters have seen me married all of their life. They've seen me married, other than my oldest. But I met my first husband when she was like 4. So it's not just about being married. It's about having healthy relationships with other healthy individuals. Getting married is not this little badge of honor.
Why are women so appalled of the word marriage?
We're not.
You are
Who
fighting
because you are married.
Listen, Key, you're literally fighting the fact that marriage is important.
The importance of marriage.
I'm not saying that marriage is not important. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
All right. Cleveland brought up the fact that it's as important as the career. So he said, Cleveland brought it up to you that, hey, marriage and a man, because marriage consists of a man and a woman. So we're talking about the lack of fathers being around, yada, yada, yada. What I'm saying to you, when a child is conceived, if the woman is married, guess what you have available? Regardless if it don't work out in the future, why are you looking at the negative?
Because
nothing's guaranteed.
Listen,
if you're teaching,
I'm speaking from a woman.
Can I finish my statement? Let me just finish this.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I'll let y'all go. If we're teaching our children, men, boys and girls, not to get anybody pregnant, not to conceive a child until you're married, we should be injecting that into every boy and girl in our community.
Are
That's
we?
what the other cultures do. We have to. We do not put marriage in. You just gave the example. Cleveland asked you straight up. Did you not
That is true.
embed this into your daughters? You said yes, I did. He
Right.
said a man and marriage is equally important as that career. You didn't
It's
agree
more
with that.
important.
You went
It's
right
more
to the
important.
defense of why marriage isn't that important, or because it's not.
I
guaranteed
never
when it's
said marriage was
nothing's
not
guaranteed.
important. I
Every
didn't say marriage
relationship,
was.
every you said you wasn't pushing it, right? If
I
you're
did
not
say that.
pushing it, that make it unimportant, baby. Whether you want to not say the words, if you don't want to use the vocabulary, but you're not pushing on it, it's not important.
Like I said,
to you.
I
And
stress
it
the
should be
importance of
important
them having
because
healthy
it's
relationships.
imperative.
I don't want my daughter to get
understand
married just to be
everybody want
married. Because
relationship.
Why don't you push her to have a healthy marriage?
I don't
Who
want
said
her
that?
to be
Why would
married
you say
just
that?
to be
Let
married.
me ask you this
Well, who
question.
say
Miss-
that? Why you
Miss
say
Key.
that?
Nobody gets married just to be married.
Hold on. So
People do it.
Miss Key,
People
do
do.
Miss Key, listen to me, Miss Key. Do you want her to have a healthy relationship, or you want her to have a healthy relationship in her marriage?
I want her to have a healthy relationship that leads to marriage. If she's in a healthy relationship, I want that to lead to marriage. Yes. I don't want her to feel
So,
like she just has to get married and the man is not prepared for marriage.
If they don't hear it, then if it's not the way you're having these conversations, the word marriage ain't even coming off your lips when you're talking. So I think that's what
I'm an example. My daughters they've seen me married. They live it.
I'm gonna chime in. This
That
is what
has
I'm
nothing to do with your
Go ahead,
intentions.
Mo.
You're not.
I'm listening, Mo.
Are you married now?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mo.
Listen,
Separated.
Okay. Go ahead, Mo.
Go ahead. The way in which this communication is happening, it's a battle of the sexes just because. Because Fu made a very valid point, and just because he didn't present it, this is what I feel, Key, because he didn't present it in the way that sat right with your spirit, you fought it. But you're saying the same thing.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of times when men and women talk, the two are hell bent on being so literal and
trying to be right. Too busy trying to be right.
And crevice of how it's said and delivered that they miss the whole point.
Right.
So what was his point that
It's the same as
we're saying the same thing.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Mo, finish.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead,
what
Mo.
I'm saying is I feel like his point was marriage is important to push it or to your children and to let them know that that's important. And he made the assumption that it's healthy because who wants an unhealthy marriage, right? No one's gonna say, "Oh, I'm going," that's not what we're doing. So
right.
That had to be said to me. And then the second part of it, especially if you're going to procreate and we want to get this back to that where there's a family, that marriage is important. And that's what children aren't hearing. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I do feel
you,
like
Mo.
You're
welcome.
No,
but I wasn't disagreeing, and that's the thing. I wasn't disagreeing that marriage is important. I do feel like marriage is important. I feel like family is important.
Time out. Can we time out right quick? What I just want to say here is, can you acknowledge, Key, that you wanted him to say, and you, to me, you were being anti just to be anti. I'm just gonna put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Just to be anti.
That may very well be the case.
Okay.
There was no reason for it, and I just feel like this happens a lot between men and women.
That's why we're having a problem.
The desire to be right down to the granular detail was more important than getting the message, and that
right.
And I just feel like that's why we had a battle of the sexes all the time, because
that's why I love that women like what we're doing today, because if it would have been just three of us men, she would have never heard it. She would have never, because we speaking, that's all she heard. But when you said it, she heard, yes, this is how you do it, girl. Listen,
you so funny.
You, but from us, she heard.
Because I came with that feminine energy of sweetness rather than
and that's right because it's so Mo. So here's the thing. Like food, like here's the thing. Food automatically like, rah, you say like I'm like, that's not what I was trying to say. I feel like marriage is important. My daughters have seen me married most of my life, most of their life. Marriage is important.
No, but
I just want them to have a healthy. I want a healthy marriage.
But you are doing
That's
a
not
switch
what you said, though, love. You didn't say that.
You're doing a switch through now.
What did I say,
Foo? It's okay. You're doing a switch
You
through.
said you wasn't pushing it. You said you wasn't pushing it. And
You're
that's
right.
where I disagree. Why
I don't
you
want
should
to force
push it.
them.
But we should.
But I don't want to force
forcing
them.
marriage. It's putting in their head that.
Hold on 1 minute, Foo and Key. This is another thing. Everything doesn't have to be literal. He can say push, but that can also mean have the conversation. That can mean plant the seed that marriage comes with.
Yeah, we're not saying force somebody.
Yeah. Because like I'm a person who like because and I know
extreme.
I know everybody might call out on this one, but I'm a person who like I didn't want to have children, so I felt like marriage doesn't have to be important to me. You see what I'm saying? And I do feel like there should be room for those who don't, because we see very well that there are a lot. Now I know I would be a great parent, but there are a lot of people who aren't great parents. Right. Procreate, and that should be an option to opt out. It shouldn't be like mandate everybody need to be married, everybody need to have kids because that don't happen.
It can't happen because there's more women than men.
What is being said, but I just want to bring that up.
So what I find interesting is when I said the first thing about telling my daughters that you have to bring something more to the table than what you sit on, all the guys are like, yeah, you got to bring more to the table. And for me, education is a part of that. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I had it in that order. Like, get your education, be your own, be able to bring something to this table, because these days we're not traditional. It takes 2 incomes. It takes 2 people to live the lifestyle that most of us like to live. So it's not that.
But you're talking about education. You're talking about education. That's most women benefit from education. That's a personal thing. For men, we don't care about education.
But and let me say this too, though. A lot of women,
you're not stupid.
A lot of women in the Black community have 5, 6, 7 degrees, and it's not profiting the financial bottom line.
Yeah, it's not. It's you got a lot of debt.
It's not even if they're able to manage the payments. We just have to be realistic on when we say what education is, getting it for the purpose of the betterment of, not just to say, hey, I got 5 degrees, I got 6 degrees, 7 degrees. Right. A lot of people are doing that now. And that's a conversation of like, who is that benefiting? Because a lot of women are holding that over men's heads too, and over each other's heads.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
that's silly.
It's better than me.
That's
just
silly.
Got 7 degrees. You know what I'm saying? Because
correct.
I'm intelligent. So that conversation also needs to be had in context of why are you going to get this education and what are you going to do with that? Especially in this day and time, because you can skip college, get certification, and go to Microsoft and Google College online, and they'll hire you right off the bat without debt. So the conversation of that is very loose at this point.
So yes, do you understand that what Brother Phil was talking about? What he was saying?
I understand what he was saying.
I'm saying to sum it up to everybody, this is pretty much what I'm saying.
Hold on,
no,
brother.
We got you, Fool. We got you. We know exactly.
His point is valid. Hold on a second, brother. Hold on a second. Do you find that his point is valid?
Yes, marriage is important.
Okay.
I feel marriage is important.
Okay. Go ahead, Brother Fool.
Not necessary, but important. Yeah.
Brother Fool.
Not necessary, but it's important.
I was saying this. It's necessary if you want to have a baby.
Correct.
It's necessary. With the capital N. Necessary if you want to have a child. It's necessary. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. We should be teaching our little boys and girls. We should tell our sons, hey, don't you spray your little Peter in that thing if you're not married to it. Be telling our daughters, hey, don't let little boy put their little Peter in there and spray your thing up unless he's married to you. We're not embedding that into our children. We're telling them to go straight to school, and we're figuring the whole relationship aspect of it. You're saying you want them to be in healthy relationships, but that's common sense. Every relationship you have,
but it's not.
A relationship with your mother, your boss, your coworker. We all have life is relationships.
Food.
Life
We live in a
is
real.
relationships.
We
It
live
has
in a
nothing to
real
do with
world.
marriage. But life is relationships. Can we agree to that? It has nothing to do with marriage.
Life is definitely relationships. But I just want you
You kept
to
hitting on the
consider.
point.
I want you to consider that we don't live in that idealistic society that you speak of. We don't live in that.
Yes, we do.
Nobody,
So
I'm not speaking about you. Listen, I'm talking about individual. I'm talking about you taking self accountability for your own actions with your
and
children.
that's all I can
I'm not
do
talking
is be
about
accountable for
anything.
myself and mine.
I just gave it. Listen, Key. Listen, I gave an example where a man should tell his boys and girls, and a woman should tell his boys and girls, don't have a child
Mhm.
unless you're married. That's just the best outcome for families. Yes or no?
Produce
How can
better
you have
families that way.
a family? A family consists of a man, a woman, and children. Yes or no?
Key, answer
If
the
you're
question.
not married,
If you say
if you're
so.
not married, who has control of those kids?
If you don't agree, that's
If
cool.
you're
I
not
don't agree with
married,
that.
who has control of? If you're not married, who has the control of the children?
You can
The
co-parent.
state. The
So
state.
why ideally? So
The
how
We don't
state.
want to teach that. We don't want to teach co-parenting.
We don't.
When
We
my
wanna
son was
teach-
born in
we
the
wanna
hospital,
teach family.
Hold on, one at a time, please.
when I was in the hospital, when my son was born, when I was born, when my son was born, I had a different wristband on than all the other guys. I had to ask the nurse why. He said, because you're married. So that goes to show you right there from conception, it makes a difference.
It does.
If a man
I
is
agree
there.
with that. I agree with that.
And see back when we was coming up, back when our parents and stuff was coming up, back in the 70s, it was 80% marriage, right? Now it used to be shameful for a person for women to have a child without a father. It used to be, without a husband. It was shameful. Now it's not. It's like now we like, no, you can have 3 or 4 kids and everything is great. People enjoy being baby
I
mamas.
don't think that's great. I don't think that's great.
But we have to stop it.
No, I don't think it's great, but what he's saying is true. Yeah.
And so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying the same thing Cleveland is saying.
But marriage,
because we live in a reality. We live in a different reality than what it used to be.
So we got
we got to start somewhere. Like Fu said, we have to take accountability.
Miss Key. Listen to me. If you look at every other ethnic group, they're still getting married.
They are.
Okay, so don't say it's something changing. We're the ones who not doing what we're supposed to do.
And that's what I mean. We're the ones.
That's what Fu was
We're
talking
the ones.
What's the ideal situation that's different?
But listen to me. That's what Brother Fu is talking about. We have to have these conversations early on so they can be accountable, and we're raising healthy families. That's why we're losing as a race.
Yes, I agree.
Baby mamas.
I agree. I totally agree. Let's stop glorifying baby mamas, baby daddies. Let's stop glorifying men out here chasing tail, spreading their seeds. Let's stop doing that.
That means we have to have a conversation about marriage. See, go back to what Brother Fu said earlier.
So who's teaching? Okay, so I'm from a woman's perspective. Ever since I was a little girl, I've been reared on how to nurture, how to take care of everyone else, how to take care of a baby, how to clean a house. Who teaches men how to be husbands?
And that's what he's talking about.
And that's what I'm talking. We're saying, like I told him, I agree.
Yeah.
We need to do it.
And that's what we're trying to.
We said that in the beginning.
I agree. I agree with him.
Okay.
But see, here's the thing. I have a 24-year-old daughter. What I see are men, her peers, that are out here just running around, running amok.
Yeah.
Doing whatever. They run through all type of women. Daughter, no, I don't want that for you, daughter.
And most of them are fatherless child.
Yeah, they come from single
family. So listen, so let's go back to what I said. They come from fatherless homes. That's why I try to encourage them to build healthy relationships. Learn about these men. Learn about the people. And it is important if you are marrying someone that understands what you all are saying about marriage. Let's
Right.
be honest. A lot of men don't agree with what you're saying about marriage. A lot of men don't even want to be married.
Well, I
That's not true. Give her
I
facts.
dis-
In my daughter's
Facts,
demographic,
tell
I'm
her the
speaking
facts
about
men
her.
being married.
I disagree with that. I disagree with
Okay,
that.
I'm
We're
telling
talking
you what I
about.
see.
Listen, the demographic that I know the statistics for is from 18 to 55. Excuse me, to 60. So your daughter's between the age of 18 and 60, right? Right?
Yes. Yes.
So she fits the demographic. So that's not true. There's more men that want to get married than women. That's why you have more baby mothers than wives.
Yeah,
Because
it's
the real
26%.
problem, it's easier for a woman to have a child than get married. The childbirth rate proves that. The marriage rate proves that.
That rate just
Right?
proves that men don't mind laying their semen in different women. That's all that proves.
No,
So
what it
there's
shows
two
is that
parts.
men like to have sex. No. Look, we got to understand. Everybody under the sun knows this. We can keep it. We can keep it. Men like to have sex. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't stop nothing from what we're saying from being, important as far as, because of course you got men out there that's just for sex. But if you're a woman, if you're a wife, and if you're groomed to be a wife, you go out in the world with wife energy. It's called the law of attraction. You get what you are. I know this for
I've never had a problem
experience,
getting
like
married.
I said, I was married as well. I was divorced, and after I got divorced, I went right back into the dating world, hurt. So what did I attract? Hurt women.
Hurt.
People.
You did.
Right.
I had to go get my shit together and come back to the dating market with a different mind state. But I had to go through some things on the dating market to realize that I had to get my own stuff together. I was on the dating website. When I first got on the dating website, I had a cute little paragraph about myself, something light. But after going on a couple of dates and wasting my time and money, I had, hey, if you got this going on, stay away from me. If you got this going on, if you don't got this going on, I had to be more detailed because time is money. You get what I'm saying?
So why is
But
it
I
not
went
okay
out
for
to
me
the
to tell
dating
my
market
daughter the
with
same
negative
thing?
energy.
Why is it not okay for me to tell my daughter the same thing? To
What?
just vet who you date. I want you to be married. I want you to have a family. If that's what
That's
you want
part
to
of,
do.
listen, nobody, but you didn't say that. But the difference of that is you didn't lead with that. You said you
No, I
wasn't
didn't. I
pushing.
didn't lead with it. You're right. I didn't
And
lead
that's
with it. I don't think it's unimportant.
And that's my point. My point is that it needs to be pushed because, especially with the women, you shouldn't be bringing no man's
There's more
child
women than
into this world unless he wants to commit to you. Listen, did what I say make sense? Would you not tell your daughter not to let a man ejaculate in her unless he has
absolutely
a ring on her finger? That's all I'm saying. Because
So-
you know what she has from the date.
every man that wants to be
bed
married
6
is not
months down the
husband
line?
material.
No,
Every man
here we
that
go
wants to be
carrying on.
married is
I
not
asked at the
husband
beginning.
material.
I asked at the beginning.
But why
I
not?
asked
Why
at
not
the
look at the
beginning,
positive
not
side,
the
Kiki?
all and everything.
I can look at the positive side.
Why you go to the negative?
Not so positive either. You brought up the baby mamas and everything else, so she gets to bring up the not so positive as well. You know, like
Right. Y'all
Say that
saying
again,
let's
I
not
didn't hear you.
glorify baby mama.
I brought
that
up a
again?
fact. I brought up a fact about baby mothers. There's more baby
I
mothers
didn't
than
hear
wives.
oh no, I'm saying
That's a
I don't
fact.
have a problem with the fact that okay, you bring up the glorified baby moms because that does happen, but it's glorified baby daddies too because there are a lot of men who have absolutely no
Hear me?
problem with being a baby daddy, and it's okay. To me, what's wrong with looking at both sides? I feel like that's an issue, and that's why it's a battle of the sexes. If there's frustration just because we're looking at both, like I look at it holistically, the problem is on both sides to me. Yes, you want to teach your daughters some restraint and some parameters and protocols, but we also want to teach our sons. That's just where I'm coming from.
Absolutely.
I led my conversation off with saying to the boys the same things to the girls. At the end of the day, I said to the boys,
And we
girls,
agree.
we can't go.
We
keep
agree
going
with
back
that.
this equally. Women are different. We got to stop with this evenly yoked stuff and free. Oh, and like Cleveland said, Key, I don't know why you don't realize it, but you feel negative about marriage. That's why you talk about it in the sense that
I don't feel negative about marriage.
But then
I don't feel
this is
negative
why I
about
say this. Listen.
marriage. I never said that.
I give you okay. You have you got 2 other brothers on here, right? We're going to ask them. So it's going to be us 3 and you. You got 3 men on this platform with you right now.
Okay.
All right. Brown Spade.
Yeah.
Do you believe she's being defensive against marriage or positive? She's being negative against marriage or positive?
I think her demeanor, I think her message has changed. The way she presented in the beginning is not the same as what she's saying now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Now she's agreeing with what we're saying now. In the beginning, the way she presented it, marriage was not on the forefront. Normally, something that you present out your mouth, that's the first thing that was on your mind. So basically, what Fu is saying, marriage was not on your.
He said I didn't lead with the marriage thing.
Right. So
I didn't.
You said it is not pushed.
The things that you thought was important. That was what you said. That was what you mentioned, and that's the
reason why I brought the education. That's the reason why I brought the education, and because you was like, oh yes, the education. Oh yeah, I told her yes, you have to get out here and make yourself useful. Do get a career, do this, and I'm like, okay. So with that same thought process, because Asians, whites, Indians, they do it all. They do it both. They get their education and they get married.
They do both.
Yeah, they do both.
So why we can't do it?
And
because who's, back to my question, who's teaching these men how to be husbands?
We're trying to correct the problem.
So we're in the process of correcting the problem, like Fu said, and I totally agree with him. We have to change the conversation. In the meantime, as women, we're still having to deal with these men raised by their mothers who haven't taught them to be husbands.
So you don't have to deal with no man that you don't want to deal with.
You absolutely don't.
I agree with that because we control.
You don't have to.
We don't have to deal. See, when you say these men, listen, you said this statement. We have to deal with these men. That's not true. You are in control who you deal with. If you know what you want and you know the purpose, you know the question the questions to ask a person, either to bring them closer to you or get them away from you. So if you're wasting your time with people that's wasting your time, guess whose fault that is?
So this is why. So okay, because I just want you all to see that it's not that I'm saying marriage is not important. Until you find that person that you feel like you can be married to or that can be a good husband for you, focus on your education. Focus on something else. Don't focus on just, I gotta find a husband.
Why not do both?
It's so many men, Cleveland, like you mentioned earlier. There's how many men to women in Atlanta alone?
That has nothing to do.
No. Why not do both? Why not do both?
You can you can do both. You can do both.
Why not do both?
You can do both.
Our grandparents used to meet a woman or a man, and they married in 2 or 3 months. And look, and there's no what if, or I need to figure this out. I need to get my education. No, we just did it because we knew that the benefits of being with somebody for the rest of your life. Why not do it on that? Why we don't just do it on that? Because you don't want to die alone. Why we can't just do it on that?
I want my daughters to have healthy relationships in every aspect.
Listen, listen, going through life, you're not gonna know if the relationship is gonna be healthy all the way through. You're gonna have
it won't be perfect. No, I don't look for perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship.
Right.
Just healthy. Because
I understand what Cheeky. I understand what you're saying. I got you. I got you, sis. I got you.
Hey, Fool need a Gatorade break, man. Fool need a Gatorade break.
I got you. Let me say this. These 2 guys right here, great men. I've been knowing both of them for years. And when you talk about, you know, what these boys and what these men need to look at and how these two men right here, I go to bat for them because I've seen we all of us we was married and then we was divorced. Matter of fact, we went through the same process almost like a year apart, and we was there for each other. I was there with Fuku, he was there with me. I was there with Daniel was there with me. So my circle of men, we have that circle. I have a strong circle of men that this is what we do. And we building this. And I want our community to spread out. That's the purpose of us starting this podcast. So,
and that's the thing. I love Black men. Listen, love them. You can't. I love Black men. If you was on, I recently
act like it.
No, see, Fu, you don't really know me. But Fu, you don't really know me though. You don't really know me.
I don't have to know you to know that.
I love Black men. I love them. I love them. And for me, there is no other race of man for me as a woman.
Right.
We have to be realistic about where we are as a culture right now. Mm-hmm. You have a group of stand-up guys around you. And I will never be that woman that says, oh, there's no good men out here. There's no good Black men, all Black. I would never.
Right.
So I'm not saying that there aren't good Black men that will make excellent husbands, that will make excellent fathers. My daughters have great fathers. Mm-hmm. I would never, I chose good fathers for my daughters. And so it's not that I believe that it can't happen. I just understand that in the times that we live in, for the most part, marriage for men is not pushed. How to be a good husband, how to be a good provider, how to be whatever. Like it's really not pushed in our society right now. Not saying that men don't want to do it. It's not pushed. And like Fu said, until we start raising the little boys up to do this, until men start talking to their peers, like, hey, maybe you need to stop treating women like that. Or would you like your daughter to be treated that way? Like we have to have these conversations.
So let's do this. We can't assume they're not having them. Are you all having those conversations with your bro?
Right.
Us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, them, they probably are. They're a different type of man.
I mean, my son is 24 years old. Well, no, he's 25 years old. He'll be 26 years old this year. He don't have any kids. He do have a girlfriend. But he's not quick to get married. He understands that. But I've also had those conversations about, if you ever bring a child in the world, responsibility of a man.
Exactly.
Exactly. I'm speaking more so not just your children,
your peers.
Your peers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So we did a podcast where we explained. I don't hang around, and me and Fu was talking about this earlier. I don't hang around men who don't hold up their responsibility. I just don't. Now, but this is what I will say. I understand that in situations where the child, mother, and all that, falls into play. But for the most part, I choose not to hang around men who don't.
Right.
I'm hanging with them, but so if you and your crew, your core group of men have the understanding and you all have like-minded, who's reaching those who don't? Not that you gotta reach them, but and run with them, shoot hoops and all that. Not that you got to be on that network.
Right.
Reaching those men.
That's a very good question, Mo. That's a very good question.
And that's all I'm saying. We're talking to the men that aren't like you all.
And I can answer it.
Who's answering?
For me, I do that. I go to the gym. I see the thing about our podcast. I get feedback from the public. I talk to men and women. I talk to not just random women, but I talk to men and women. When I go to the gym, I talk to guys or women that walk up and hear us talking and what y'all talking about, and they have the conversation. So all of the things that we do and talk about on this podcast, I talk to people. I talk to guys. I talk to women about the things that we discuss. If it's my wife friends, if it's some of my homeboys that I go to the gym with, their wife, they talk about our podcast and things that we talk about. So yeah, I have these conversations. I do.
What were you gonna say?
We got. I forgot my other kid, but mainly is this, that we got to raise our little boys to be husbands, and as part of men, because we say men, but we got to put the word husband in there, and we also got to put the word wife in there, because those are jobs, and they're not easy jobs.
They are.
It's going to be the hardest job you ever do, because you're going to do the biggest investment on this planet is a child. You feel what I'm saying? Because once you have a child, it's no longer about you. It's about passing this down something to generations, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
we have to start with our last names. Unfortunately, because, you know, the generation, we failed the generation right now. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with the little boys. They were raised wrong. There's nothing we could do about that. But what we can do is now that we know better, we do better. We start implementing this into our children now, so they can start putting that into your future grandchildren or your grandchildren, and start getting some of the traditional ways back into our culture, because the traditional ways are still in the other cultures. They haven't left. So you can't expect to save the world. You can start with your own last name, with your own kin, with your own lineage. Start right there and start telling your little boys and girls and your family. If you love your little boys and girls and your family, the teenagers, when you go to the cookout, you start having the conversations with them instead of just letting them walk around on their phone. You can start saying, "Hey, what's going on? You know, with your boyfriend and girlfriend," and start seeing where their head is at when it comes to relationships. So that's a way we can change it.
When you say that we can't do anything about this generation, I don't feel like we can't do anything about the ones that are older now, and I feel like that's when guys like you come into play. So this is what I was trying to say earlier. My daughter has to date the men that you're talking about, the ones that you feel like are lost, the ones that you feel like they just don't get it. She's in that group, and
I get that, yeah.
Right, and so the thing is, it as a parent and as a woman, I have to face the reality that, like you said, a lot of these men just weren't. They're not like you all. They're not like the three of you.
But stop focusing on the men and just on your family. It's what I want you to do.
But when I said focus on my family and focus on her, then you said, well, why aren't you telling her that she needs to find a husband?
No, that's not. See, no, nobody's saying not
the men in my family. The men in my family are great.
It's not about
most
finding. It's not
all of them.
Listen, a husband will find a
wife.
First of all, right?
That's true.
All right. So I'm not telling you to tell your daughter to look for a husband. I never said that. I'm telling you to teach your daughter to be a wife. I'm telling you to teach the sons to be husbands. I ain't saying nothing else but that. Because to be a husband and to be a wife are positions. They're jobs. It's no different than a job at your career. They're literally positions. A husband and a wife are positions, and they're a job.
I get it.
A family is a business. Your kids are your currency, your investment.
I can teach my daughter to be a wife until I'm blue in the face. I want to know who's teaching the men to be husbands.
That's all I'm saying. I ain't talking about
that's all I'm saying.
I
just want to know who's teaching them. Because I know grown men my age that don't know how to be husbands.
That is true.
That's
all I'm saying.
I understand that. I know just because you're a male don't mean you're a man.
I know.
Grown males that are men.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
So that has nothing to do with it.
That's all I'm saying.
It's still, if
you get to choose.
If I'm teaching my son to be everything is about choice. If I'm teaching my son to be a husband, he will attract his wife because he's going to know what he wants for him and his purpose. I don't know what my son's purpose is going to be. I don't know what he's going to want to do. He might not even want to get married. He might not even want kids. But I'm going to instill in him what he needs to know to make the decisions. That's where parenting comes in.
I agree.
This is the thing, Kiki. Like, for instance, I just go off of my experience. You know, me and my wife. Of course, she when I got with her daughter was 8, and now she's 14. So now we had a conversation. She was talking about, you know, Ma, and I have these conversations, you know, with my wife nieces. We talk about this. We talk about family.
Right.
We talk about, grandma and grandpa and how they did. We do these things. They seen it. So I'm not saying that her daughter maybe was not going to get married, but once me and her came together and she see the bond and how we move as a unit, she see this. She told her mother
Right.
probably a couple of months ago, Mom, I'm going to get married and I'm going to get married. I'm going to have kids and you're going to have grandkids. Like, this is the conversation she had with her. She's 13 going on, well, she's 14 going on 15. But because she see this, she sees it. She sees this in this house. And
she sees a healthy marriage, and that's outstanding. I love it.
So to the point that I understand what Fu was saying, you have to Martin Luther King, Malcolm X your own household.
Right.
Clint
you got to put it in them.
You have to do it in your house. And
right.
And if everybody do that, guess what? We have a community. If everybody take care of their household, we have a community. And I understand you saying talk to these people out here, because I do. But I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing that in my household.
Right. I totally agree. You have to be a living example for your children. You have to be a living example. And all I'm saying that, like, you three guys, you may get it. You get it. I've seen, and in my field, in my work that I do now, I talk to women all the time. I talk to people all the time. And some people don't see that healthy.
We got to help those who want to be helped. We got to help.
And that's true, because you can't help people that don't want to be helped.
Yep,
we got to help us. Listen, I know plenty of dudes who out here doing crazy stuff. I'm not trying to help them. I'm gonna help those who want to be helped. I'm gonna help those who want it. That's the point of this podcast. There's plenty of people that's gonna look at this podcast and say, "Battle of the Sexes," and click on it, and they don't see us fighting and yelling and
we're not gonna do that.
They're gonna click off. We're not trying to reach them. We're trying to reach the ones who say, well, you know what? I never looked at it like that. You know what? I never seen it like that. I never heard it like that. Each
one teach one. If you can reach just one, you've made a difference.
I'm not worried about the ones that's not trying to learn or educate themselves or even learn from this. I don't let them go. Let them go. I mean, it's nothing.
And see, as a culture, like we have so many ones that have been just let go. And I understand you can't help everybody. I already get that. I totally understand.
Go ahead. I'm listening. If Harriet Tubman would have tried to help everybody, goodness gracious, she would have never.
Even the ones she tried to help, some of them didn't even want it. They fell off.
Do this. Okay, she turned her back, said, "Kill him, kill him."
Right.
It's the mindset.
Yeah, you can't help everybody.
Mindset is everything.
Possible.
So that's why I love this podcast, because we get a chance to talk and put it out here for those who want to hear and those who want to learn, those who want to listen. We battling, but guess what? We in a minute, we're gonna come together. I think we will. I hope.
Like I said, I love black men, honey. Like I'm always gonna be their cheerleader. I don't even care. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I don't allow women to bash black men. You're not gonna do that in front of me, because at the end of the day, you made that choice. And you can make a choice.
That's why I invited you on here.
You already know how I do it, so I love y'all regardless. I live in a real world. I live in real situations, and you know, my daughters.
Get on our nerve. We love y'all too.
Yeah,
we love y'all too.
Like I said, we can teach women. Girls are taught to be nurturers and providers for the most part. Most women are. I've seen some horrible mothers. I've seen horrible women. Some women should not be allowed to procreate. I can't control that. Like y'all said earlier, we can't control if they had a baby.
Right. We can't control that.
But we can't control it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I love black men, and you know, I'm gonna cheer for you all. I'm gonna always be in your corner. I really just want more black men and women we got to start appreciating each other. We have to realize we work better as a unit, as a team. So for me, marriage is about inheritance. It's about passing something down to your generations other than bills.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we pass down land? Why can't
Right.
we pass down, stocks and
Right.
things like that? That's my thing. I'm looking to build.
Right.
So whenever I'm in a marriage, I'm trying to build something to leave to our children and our children's children for generations to come.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't see it that way. A lot of people can't get on board with that because people
Hey,
are selfish.
You got to stop. We
And-
understand that, and you really
And so I
should
don't deal
stop
with those
saying
type
that
people.
because
Which
majority of the world is on some. That's what you keep saying everybody else. You know what I
That
mean?
is
Like majority of
society.
people.
That's
and
that's
that's
just
just
society. People not having this
that's why
problem in other world.
that's they had.
They're not, and that's my point. They're not.
We're missing a point that's being made. What were you saying, Pooh?
No, I was just making the point where she kept saying everybody else, like everybody else in society, where I consider like us the 5%ers. You know what I'm saying? Where my philosophy, I have a philosophy like 95% of males aren't men. So will you just take that percentage and just live off that, go off the 5% that are knowledgeable, that are part of the community? Like, stop focus. We have to stop focusing on the 95%, like Cleveland was saying. Focus on the people that we can reach and don't even think about the non, you know what I mean? The negative component.
How is that possible when it's such a large percentage?
Hold on a second.
I'm about to try to. I'm about to try to teach you. I'm about to try to teach you my best. I have a philosophy. Players for Life is just not a cool sounding name. It has a philosophy behind it. It's the philosophy behind it is managing the balance of negative and positive energy. We can't control everything around us. We can only control a certain portion, right? So
that's very true.
At the end of the day, you just need to focus on positive. That's why all of the motivational books, The Secret, I don't care what it is, it teaches people to redirect their mind and focus on the positive. The negative is going to be there. No different than death. Death is negative. Birth is positive. You don't hear people keep talking about it because it's inevitable, right? So we need to stop talking about the inevitable and start focusing on the positive and putting that into our kids, because that is what's going to carry into the next generation. Positive mindset. Our people have a negative mindset. Until we can change our mindset about how marriage is concerned, about a lot of things, until we can change our mindset, we're going to be confused. So I just believe that we just have to focus on the positive aspects of life, and because the negative ones is going to be there.
And I would like to add to that, though, the way in which we focus, I believe, is a problem, and why we battle as well. Because many times I see where people have all the right intentions of carrying this message forward, but it's in the delivery. We as a community do not know how to deliver information. And I'll say that, like, even on social media, sometimes someone has all the world intent to say, hey, teach your children X, Y, Z, but they come off snapping. And that's something we like to do because it's cute. And I'm just going to be honest, that's what I see a lot of. And while we're thinking we can't touch anybody in that 95%, I would say we could if we change our delivery and understand how to communicate and how to deliver some messages. And especially, like, I'll say for sure that I see it. I'll give an example, Kevin Samuels. There might be some gems in him. He has a group of people that he's for. However, you're going to miss people only because of delivery. And that's just one example. That's an extreme example. But there's just people on my feed where they come across trying to get people to see something and see what the Black community needs, but it's just so nasty. And I'm just like, what is our desire to be so nasty? And like to snap on and clap back and all whatever you want to call it. I see it so often. And I believe that is why we battle too, because of just simple delivery.
Right.
I think Black people too damn sensitive, man.
Well, I think that we are a group of damaged people, both male and female, in the Black community. But that's why we're trying to change the narrative, and we're trying to, first you have to start off with self-love, and then when you get that going and you master that, then you're able to express love to the next man and woman that you encounter with.
Exactly.
You don't necessarily, and a lot of times, even when you just walking in passing, you might say, it's been several times where I just tell a sister hello. Everybody say hello to you is not trying to holler at you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's been times where I've opened the door for sisters, because I taught my son this when I was raising.
Thank you.
Some of them say thank you, and some of them don't. It's like, dang, I'm not trying to get at you. I'm just being a gentleman. I'm teaching my son to be a gentleman. But see, this is what I told my son. I said, son, you can always open the door for a woman if she's in the close proximity, no matter how big or how ugly she may be. You still open that door for her. That's the difference between a gentleman, because I'm being gentle to her. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing her courteous. So I'm not judging her. I'm just being courteous to her because I'm a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? And I think, again, we have to practice that more when we interact with each other. More pleasant words, more pleasant deliveries, and we're in that department. We don't even know how to interact and exchange words with each other, because everybody is snappy and choppy.
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
So we are in the 2 hour. we're 2
Well,
hours.
we spent a good 30 or 45 minutes waiting.
I got one more statement. I want. Can I make one more statement?
Go ahead. Y'all want to go? Let's go. Come on.
Because she said something that stuck with me. The delivery thing, right? I think that's a cop out. No different than the representative. Like the delivery and representative, I think, are the two biggest cop outs in our community. The delivery is only a problem when you're in denial of the truth, because like pastors, coaches, like anybody that has a message that's getting to a congregation, they have a certain way of delivering it, right? I've never been on a basketball court or football or any type of sport and heard a coach talk to the players elegantly, like, oh yeah, get out there and you just do what you got to do. They deliver it with aggression, with force, right? But the message is more important than the delivery. And I hear so many women and people in general talk about, well, why he say it like that? It's not about how he said it. It's about what he said. And you brought up Kevin Samuels. I'm going to give you the polar opposite with the same message of Kevin Samuels. And this is how I know it's some bullcrap. Because when I first got on Kevin Samuels, I felt like he was the polar opposite of what this guy was, with the same message. And he was still getting the same resistance from Black women that the other guy. The other guy name is Tommy Sotomayor. He cares about the Black community, but the way he delivers it, it's hard for a lot of people to get it, because he called women bitches and hoes. Like, he goes to that extreme with it. Kevin Samuel barely even cusses. Mm-hmm. When he does, they say he cussing women out. It doesn't make any sense. You got a dude like Tommy Sotomayor that every word that comes out of his mouth is a cuss. Then you got Kevin Samuels, who is more patient, in my opinion, when it comes to women.
He's patient,
and his delivery is very on. You know what I mean? Like, he has his moments. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, his message is being, the message that he's putting out is more important than how he's delivering. And what I'm pretty much trying to say is that there's really no right way to tell the truth. Because if I'm saying something that you don't agree with and it pertains to be the truth, you're going to throw it off on my delivery, and we're going to get off the whole message of, the conversation. So I just really believe that the whole delivery thing is a cop out. Like if somebody's disrespecting you and insulting you, that's different. But just telling you the truth and you don't like the way it came out his mouth, I think we're too
Truth
sensitive.
is relative.
And another
A
thing
lot
I
of
said
times,
that was
truth is relative.
representative because I hear a lot.
I want to respond to that because we can say it could be
go ahead.
all truth. It could be all truth that people are too sensitive. It could be. It could be perspective on sensitive, perspective on too harsh. What I'm saying is what we've been doing is not working, apparently.
Right.
So, and I feel like and I have been very effective in is delivering truth. We saw it right here with you and Key. The way I delivered it versus you, it was a whole different response. So we can act like it's not valid to
and I know why though. I know why though. I
want to finish though. Can I finish?
You want me to tell you why?
Let her finish.
Let Mo finish.
There are definitely reasons why. What I'm saying is, I do believe delivery. You don't have to sugarcoat stuff. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying sugarcoat. I'm saying you can deliver the truth. I'm just saying that when I see women and men battling often, whether it's social media, in person, both sides are teeter-tottering on that disrespect level. Whether we want to agree or not, sometimes we camouflage. I think it's a cop-out to be nasty sometimes.
Right.
That's just when you try to go hard on a certain way and just to get your point across when you could say it, when a person could say it differently and get it really right into home. I see it all the time.
Delivery is important. I do. Don't get me wrong. I agree. Don't get me wrong. I do believe delivery is very important.
I'm definitely saying tell the truth. I'm not saying sugarcoat. I'm just saying let's not be disrespectful and nasty to one another because that's where I came at it from. I definitely said nasty, rude, and all that.
Let me say this: you get more bees. You get more bees with honey than you do
exactly.
So.
Yeah, I mean,
I had brought up that example because Mo had said, she had brought up Kevin Samuels and said something about his delivery, but like, what about the message though?
Also, Fu, I get the message. There are some messages I've heard only clips of him. I don't listen to him in his time. There's some things he said that I agree with. There's some things that he said, messages that I don't. I get it. What I say, and I brought him up, is because he's a person that a lot of people can't take. That's why I brought him up. It's not like we got to stick with him.
That's not true. That's your
80% of his listeners are women. 80% of his subscribers.
Because a lot of women like drama.
But there are a lot of people who
not drama.
With Cleveland, what I'm saying is there are a lot of people that I come in contact with who don't listen to him because of his delivery. I get that everybody has an audience. Everybody does, right? But if you want to reach more sometimes, not that he has to change, but I know that there has to be somebody for everybody. Who I can reach is not the same as who you might be able to reach versus vice versa.
So we're about to bring this thing to a close.
Okay.
All right. My bad for taking this to
overtime. They brought you up so much, Mr. Samuels. But anyway, we always have food for thought, words of wisdom, something. Our final words we would like to say, and we just go around the table. So
we're gonna let the ladies go first.
Let me say, hold on, Cleveland. Let me finish, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So I'm saying first, I want to just thank the ladies for coming in. I want to thank Brother Fu for coming in. I appreciate you, bro. Even though you was late, I still I waited for you. I'm still here for you, bro.
Appreciate it. I appreciate you, man.
No doubt, no doubt.
But I waited for y'all yesterday. I waited for y'all yesterday.
Yes, you did. You waited for us yesterday. Yeah, that is true. That is true. So
I was on at 5:30. I was nowhere around.
We appreciate you, brother. So in closing, what would you which one of you young ladies would like to go first?
All right, Key.
Well, I would just like to say teamwork makes the dream work, and we just have to do better. And I love our people, and I'm always cheering for us to win. Whatever that looks like, I want us to win.
All right.
That's all.
Okay, and I'll piggyback on that and say, y'all know Cleveland and Daniel, you exactly know that my biggest thing is communication. Communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate.
Yeah.
no matter what it takes to come to a consensus of understanding. And communication is not just talking, it's listening in its entirety. So I believe that's important. And I also believe feminine energy, masculine energy are important too to get this thing full circle and more harmonious. So that's mine. Communicate and get back to the root of who we are.
Right. Go ahead, Brother Fu.
I'll say that it starts with self-accountability. I believe, the best life you can save is your own. You start with there. I think a lot of us need to do a lot of self-reflection and get therapy and, change our mindset. And we to reprogram the way we think, because a lot of us, we've been through a lot of trauma. And we've seen and we're currently still witnessing a lot of trauma, and that's never going to stop. So you have to be able to protect your mind and your spirit from that. And I really believe like I said earlier, we just need to start embedding these importance of marriage and family into our children, and find your purpose. I have a hashtag called passionate to paychecks, meaning that whatever you're passionate about, you can make money from. I've been doing that for the last over a decade. Thank God I've been able to do that. And I believe when you find your purpose, it'll help you on this journey of life. So the more you know what you want out of life, the healthier you can live life. Because like I said earlier, we're in control of everybody we're around and everything that we do. So we're in control of every choice that we make, and every choice that we make has consequences, negative or a positive one. So whatever the consequence is, it was your choice, and never forget that, and don't ever put it on anybody else. Playersforlife.com. That's all I gotta say.
All right. I want to say thank you to my family on this panel, because y'all are my family. I've been knowing y'all for a very long time. And I want to say to the listeners and everybody that's out there, hit the like button. Share and subscribe,
and hit that notification bell.
Notification bell.
And thank y'all brothers too. My bad. I forgot to thank you guys, man. My bad. Please. Daniel, thank you for bringing me on, bro. I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
And I'm gonna say, we do battle. We do battle, but I love when we battle and then we come together to unify. Because with this show and everything, we did have a lot of, agreements and some disagreements or whatever. But at the end of the day, we all can come together and say that it is a problem, and we really realize that we have to work together to fix this problem. Not just one, women gotta do this and men don't have to do that, or men have to do this and women don't have to do that. We have to come together, because that's the only way we be able to do this thing. And communities is what makes our world go round. And we got to get back to having our community strong again. And family, marriage, husband, wives, children, hell, even grandparents, should be part of family. But we got to get back to that core to where we focusing on unity and getting our communities back stronger. And that's it.
All right. Well, I just want to say, again, thank everybody for coming in. I also want to thank Brother TL for last time. He gave us that support. So I appreciate him on his podcast with Frontline Stereo.
Stereo, yes. Check him out. Check him out on Thursdays.
I want to give him a shout out because I didn't give him one last time. So I appreciate you, brother. But I think it's good that we're having this dialogue, and somebody will hear this, somebody will get something out of it. And that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to reach one person at a time. We're not trying to bash anybody. We're not trying to, make anybody look bad. That's not what we're about. We're just trying to bring like some enlightenment. Because when you look at us as a group, okay, individually we may be winning, but as a group we're losing, right? I think we all can agree to that. So what we got to do is we got to continue having this dialogue, get to the root of the problem and let's fix it. We can't compare what society do, because society, in this society, we always been driven by what Hollywood do, and we try to conform to it. And we're everyday people. We're just everyday working people. That's what we are, you know, at the end of the day. And again, us men, we need women, and women, we need men. Without you, there is no us. So we need each other. And so we just gotta get past this individualism. Let's not lose focus. And that, to me, family is the way to go. I mean, if you look at every group that's winning and they passing legacy on, it's through family. And they have a family structure, and family is taught, and family is instilled and embedded in these powerful group of people. If you look at any powerful group, you don't see a whole lot of moving around, floating around like everybody else does. So not trying to compare oranges and apples, but we just got to do better. I mean, we're losing right now as a group. On that note, peace.